Thanks.
It's
Appreciate
it's fairly well documented that Icelander Leif Erikson successfully sailed to North America in the year 1000, almost 500 years prior to Columbus' voyage. In fact,
Let me say something on that. Yeah. You mentioned Leif Erikson, right? He said the year 1000, which was 1000 AD. Keep that in mind.
In fact, there's a growing amount of proof suggesting that a lot of the familiar history of human exploration and discovery by our ancestors, as we were taught, it may be quite wrong. There's hard evidence of ancient civilizations making their mark in places where, according to traditionally accepted history, they just shouldn't be. Here's an overview of some of the most remarkable and fascinating cases. Now, under this section here, it says Greeks and Romans in the New World. Coins. Roman coins have been found in Venezuela and Maine. Roman coins were found in Texas at the bottom of an Indian mound at Round Rock. The mound is dated approximately 800 AD. In 1957, by a small boy, found a coin in a field near Phoenix City, Alabama, from Syracuse, on the island of Sicily and dating from 490 BC. In the town of Helena, Oklahoma, another out-of-place coin was found in 1976. Experts identified it as a bronze tetradoch originally struck in Antioch, Syria in 63 AD and bearing the profile of Emperor Nero. In 1882, a farmer in Cass County, Illinois, picked up bronze coin, later identified as a coin of Antiochus IV, one of the kings of Syria who reigned from 175 BC to 164 BC, who is mentioned in the Bible.
Now, these Roman coins, this proves that you had Israelites that were under the Roman Empire. That was they were province of the Roman Empire, and they dealt with Roman coins as well as Hebrew money. And a lot of them knew about the New World, and they came over here and they brought them coins with them, man. Because Esau didn't. Matter of fact, during the time of Christopher Columbus, there was a big thing going around that the earth was flat, and then you fall off the earth and some great turtle will eat your ass. So these devils wasn't on no level. The Most High had to put the spirit on them to take over, because they didn't have the spirit to take over, man. The Most High, the reason why this man is in power, because the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai put them in power to punish us, but to show prophecy. All right? Go ahead.
Daniel chapter 4, verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basest of men.
Yeah, so Esau was the basis of all men.
Yeah, this is from the book of Job 30 and 7. Among the bushes they brayed, under the nettles they were gathered together. They were children of fools, yea, children of base men. They were viler than the earth.
And that's talking about Esau, man. So you being exposed, devil. You being exposed. And like your skirt is being pulled. All right, now I want to go. Oh, you want to get that? All right, go ahead.
I got it right here.
All right, go ahead.
Isaiah 47 and 2. Take the millstone and grind meal, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance and will not meet thee as a man.
Yeah, so this man's being exposed for being a bum, for being a complete nobody. All right? Now I want to go from there to a number of scriptures. The first scripture is 1 Kings, the 22nd chapter, and the 44th verse. If you want, you can start up above that, a couple of verses. That's up to you. So I want you to get that first.
2 Kings.
Start at 42.
Okay, 2 Kings 22 and 42. Jehoshaphat was 35 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 25 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Azubah, the daughter of Shilhi. And he walked in all the ways of Asa, his father. He turned not aside from it, doing that which was right in the eyes of the Lord. Nevertheless, the high places were not taken away, for the people offered and burnt incense yet in the high places.
Because you had Israelites following them gods from the Egyptians and the Babylonians and so forth.
Oh yeah, this is 1 King. Okay. It says, and Jehoshaphat made peace with the king of Israel. Now the rest of the acts of Jehoshaphat and his might that he showed and how he warred, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? And the remnant of the Sodomites, which remained in the days of his father Asa, he took out of the land. There was then no king in Edom, a deputy was king. Jehoshaphat made ships of Tarshish to go to Ophir for gold, but they went not, for the ships were broken at Ezion-Geber.
All right, now let's go from there. So that shows you that Israel had fleets of ships, all right? Now let's go from there to the book of 1 Kings, the 9th chapter, the 10th verse to the 11th verse. Then we're going to jump to the 25th verse to the 28th verse.
Okay, 1 Kings chapter 9, verse 10. And it came to pass at the end of 20 years, when Solomon had built the two houses, the house of the Lord and the king's house. Now Hiram, the king of Tyre.
Now remember, the brother just read in the Bible dictionary, the Zandervan Bible dictionary, about Hiram. So they knew about Hiram, and this confirms that a guy named Hiram, which was king, he was a Canaanite, actually existed. All right, go ahead.
Now Hiram, the king of Tyre, had furnished Solomon with cedar trees and fir trees, and with gold according to all his desire. That then King Solomon gave Hiram 20 cities in the land of Galilee. Verse 25. And 3 times in a year did Solomon offer burnt offerings and peace offerings upon the altar which he built unto the Lord. And he burnt incense upon the altar that was before the Lord, so he finished the house. And King Solomon made a navy of ships in Ezion-Geber, which is beside Eloth, on the shore of the Red Sea, in the land of Edom. And Hiram sent in the navy his servants, shipmen that had knowledge of the sea, with the servants of Solomon. And they came to Ophir and fetched from thence gold.
That's why King Hoshea knew that there was a new land. There was a land where never mankind dwelt, and they already knew about that land because they were going back and forth to that land, which is over here on the the Western Hemisphere, which is the so-called Americas. And what they did was they got peacocks, they got herbs, they got exotic trees, because over here in the Americas, before Esau got over here, this was a paradise, man. All right, this the trees, grass, all kind of different flowers growing. It was like another land of Eden. Okay, actually, this is also the land of Canaan, because it was named after the Canaanites. Go ahead.
It says, and they came to Ophir and fetched from thence gold 420 talents and brought it to King Solomon.
All right, now let's go from there to 1 Kings, the 10th chapter, the 21st verse to the 23rd verse. And then immediately go to 2nd Ezra in the Apocrypha, the 13th chapter and the 39th verse. All right, go ahead.
All right, 1 Kings chapter 10, verse 21. And all King Solomon's drinking vessels were of gold, and all the vessels of the house of the forest of Lebanon were of pure gold. None were of silver. It was nothing accounted of in the days of Solomon. For the king had at sea a navy of Tarshish with the navy of Hiram. Once in 3 years came the navy of Tarshish, bringing gold and silver.
Now keep that in mind. Once in 3 years, I want you to read that again.
For the king had at sea a navy of Tarshish with the navy of Hiram. Once in 3 years came the navy of Tarshish, bringing gold and silver, ivory and apes and peacocks.
Now, that's a descriptor, so that's a fact. Now keep in mind, it was once in 3 years. And we're going to find out where exactly where they went to in that once in 3 years. Because what they did was, when they would come to the Americas, they would dock, they would get the apes, they would get the peacocks, they would get the gold, all right? They would get all this fine stuff, and they would bring it right back to Solomon. So they wouldn't stay there. They didn't live there. They would just go there, get the stuff, and come back. And keep in mind, it was a 3-year cycle. Why? Because it took a year and a half to get there and a year and a half to come back. All right, read that again.
And then if I may say this, Elder, now when we read in the other scripture, it said that King Solomon burnt offerings and made peace offerings to the Lord every 3 years, whenever he got this new shipment in. It says...
because it came in great abundance. Remember, it wasn't one ship. It was a fleet. He had a fleet of ships. Go ahead.
It says, for the king had at sea a navy of Tarshish with the navy of Hiram. Once in 3 years came the navy of Tarshish bringing gold. Once in 3 years came the navy of Tarshish bringing gold and silver, ivory and apes and peacocks. So King Solomon exceeded all the kings of the earth for riches and for wisdom.
Yeah, because they didn't know where was he getting all this gold. Where was he getting all this fine things from? Where was he getting them peacock from? Because Israel already, long before Esau, Israel already knew about the new region, which this man calls America today. That's the place where the Most High is going to bring us. So we've been knew about this place before this devil even thought of this, even imagined of coming on the other side of the world. Like I said, they were thinking that the earth was flat. Dumb monkeys. Go ahead.
2 Ezra chapter 13, verse 39. And whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto...
You know what? I'm sorry. I want to go to 2 Kings, the 17th chapter, in the first verse, and let's read that fast, and then we're going to go to the Apocrypha.
Okay. Kings 17,
yeah, go ahead.
2 Kings chapter 17, verse 1. In the 12th year of Ahaz, king of Judah, began Hosea, the son of Elah, to reign in Samaria over Israel 9 years. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, but not as the kings of Israel that were before him. Against him came up Shalmaneser, king of Assyria, and Hosea became his servant and gave him presents. And the king of Assyria found conspiracy in Hosea, for he had sent messengers to So, king of Egypt, and brought no present to the king of Assyria, as he had done year by year. Therefore the king of Assyria shut him up and bound him in prison. Then the king of Assyria came up throughout all the land and went up to Samaria and besieged it 3 years. In the 9th year of Hosea, the king of Assyria took Samaria and carried Israel away into Assyria, and placed them in Hala and in Habor by the rivers of Goshen and in the cities of the Medes. For so it was that the children of Israel had sinned against the Lord their power, which had brought them out of the land of Egypt, from under the hand of Pharaoh king of Egypt, and had feared other gods, and walked in the statutes of the heathens whom the Lord cast out from...
And that's what they're doing right over here. They're fearing other gods. They're worshiping wood and stone, which are these churches. They're calling themselves worshiping Allah. Oh, today is the June 26th. There's a big thing that Farrakhan is doing at 7 o'clock, and it's going to be on the internet. I believe it's under NOI, nationofislam.org, at 7 o'clock in Atlanta. And I think it's entitled, Who Are the Children of Israel? So this thing is put, so that Islamic stuff is dead. That Christianity stuff is dead. That baptism stuff is dead. Now Israel and Esau tried to stop this thing, man. We didn't have millions of dollars to push this thing, man. You don't need millions of dollars to push this thing. That's why this guy Joe Lieberman is trying to stop the internet, man. Because that's the only way they can stop this truth from coming out. Because that internet, www, stand for what? World Wide Web. It goes all around the world, man. J. Rockefeller too. They're stopping it because they don't want it's all about Israel, man. It's all about Israel, and the Most High is raising us up, man. Go ahead. So you're through. You're through. Like I said, the last couple of prophecies is you going into Iran, And then you hitting that chip, what you're already doing. You're putting the chips in the people's right